And now our feature presentation.
Let's spin this new shit!
Hello and welcome every pony to the CloudsDale Cafe, where magic is always on the menu. I am your host, Ragin with the host with the most. We have Nick, the gaming gnome, who runs the stream.
Hello.
We have Cinnamon Top, aka Steampunk Scootaloo.
What's up?
We have Tommy, our PMV maker.
YOLO.
And we have Technic Shadow, who is in the basement right now working the mixer. Tonight we are interviewing Sprocket, one of the administrators of the Seeds of Kindness project. But we will be interviewing him later. But right now it's time for some spoilers. So, you guys, have any of you seen the new 8-minute little preview for the first episode for Season 3?
I have. It's good. It's very, very, very good. The animation step up is phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
for sure.
yes it is. I love it.
There's one scene, Okay, well, quick thing to anyone watching, spoilers, but basically Celestia and Luna are in one scene, and the shading on Celestia and Luna, because they're standing in front of a stained glass window, is just unbelievably good. It's a huge step up from the animation from Season 2. And the talking looks a lot more fluid. They move around a lot more. It's looking even more like a cartoon than it did before.
Yeah, like I feel like there's a lot more fluid animation between it, and then when going to like expressions and stuff like that, like they have like a lot of exaggerated faces when kind of transitioning into it, because there's I know that you sent me a picture, Ragin, of like kind of
Twilight's eyes.
like Twilight's eyes is just like insane, like
Bugging out.
Yeah, like bugging out and stuff like that. And it's kind of like, it's real, like it just like with that transition frame right there, like it makes it feel like the emotion, like the feeling is a much more like exaggerated and stuff like that.
That's her serious face. Her new serious face, but it's good it's good that they're coming up with new, faces and possibly even newer poses too, to keep it fresh.
It was that one where Twilight's got the bug eyes. It reminds me of the scene of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where Judge Doom like really goes full on Nutty Toon mode.
Yes, I know exactly.
Is the bug eyes. God. Yeah. But it's cool. The bug eyes and everything just makes it look makes it look a lot more sort of unrealistic in a good way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
it's good that it looks more cartoony and everything.
Yeah, like with Avatar, The Last Airbender, when Iroh when Iroh is looking at this one flower, and he, like, I remember seeing a video about this once, and he was looking at this flower and he's wondering if it's either good for tea or it's deadly poison. And when he's talking about it being a good tea, he has raised eyebrows. He's looking pretty happy about it. And then when going through the transition between a happy face to like pretty much a scowl, since it could be a poison as well, instead of just going straight down with the eyebrows, like going straight into the scowl, it kind of exaggerated the face a bit more, and made a bit of an O face with even with the eyebrows raised even higher, and then into a scowl. So it kind of has like a little bit of a bit more of a kind of a fluid transition through it, but it's also a little bit exaggerated. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
Well, when the animation gets more fluid and you see a lot of movement, that would mean they've increased the frame rate, obviously.
Yeah.
And more frame rate, that would be more pictures between frames and more what's called the in-betweens. The in-betweens are the in-between movements that are in an animation. For example, when she's raising her hoof, well, you have your first stance would be down, and then your final one would be when it's fully up. And to get to those points, you need the in-betweens. So the more in-betweens they are, the more fluid that's going to look like. And I'm pretty sure they're really stepping up the numbers on that one. And the really good thing, you can tell that this is a good animation because of how expressive these characters are. And that's one of the biggest things that I liked about the MOP series is how expressive like everyone is. And there's just every episode there's always like just one unique expression, and it really makes each episode unique on their own, which I really like. And I'm definitely going to be looking into those tiny little details this season.
Absolutely, definitely. Yeah, so the animation's really good, which is one thing.
I just have to say, why are Celestia and Luna having wing boners? Like almost every scene you see with them, they're having wing boners, and I'm just like, what?
Because royalty.
So every alicorn now is going to be, kind of. Well, even Cadence did it too. Even in last season when we saw her. So apparently, it's now canon that I don't know, alicorns are horny all the time. I don't know.
Well, think about it. The Crystal Kingdom is back. Oh yeah.
That turns me on.
Oh man.
That's
Oh yeah,
disgusting.
but we also see, we also get to
that's
see the villain kind of. But me and Nick already knew what the villain was kind of going to look like because we played the game on the hub's website, a little My Little Pony like matchup game or something like that. I don't know what it was, and we kind of looked at it and we're like, oh god. But I don't know. They tried to make it look evil, but they try to keep it, like not too scary.
Kid-friendly.
Yeah, really kid friendly. But it kind of looks like every bad, alicorn evil OC out there, with the red hair, black body, trying to make it, I'm evil, I'm a badass.
Yeah, it's
I'm too evil for this.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like the Darth Maul of but ponified, but no.
Don't hate on Darth Maul. He was
No,
badass.
okay, he was badass. I will agree with you. He's like my favorite Dex Vader.
Yeah, yeah, he's pretty much like the staple of stereotypical evil guy. He has the sharp teeth, red and black, like that evil grin, glowing eyes kind of thing. Overall, he just looks sinister. Though I really do want to see how they kind of portray him as. So,
are they going to make him, he's misunderstood and use the elements of harmony?
no, probably not.
No,
I really hope they don't
please
do
don't.
that.
Kill him.
Yeah, I think they will. But they turned him into Shadow. That's actually pretty hardcore,
Yeah, that was.
That's, turning somebody into Shadow, that's just, I don't know if it's because he was so evil, or in a bad term, like to make a bad quote is, from Dusk's Dawn, I'm too evil for that. I'm not enough evil for that, or whatever they said.
Okay,
Whatever, but
my biggest...
hang on.
Alright, sure.
Okay, I just want to say at least he's not an alicorn, which is what I thought he was. Everyone thought he was going to be a black and red alicorn thing, which at least he's just a unicorn.
But the bad thing is, we're going to see somebody taking this and turn it into, a mod or whatever as a Tumblr, and we're just going to be like, oh god.
Yeah. In my view, I don't want them to make an evil character just because evil. A villain should have certain ambitions, but they shouldn't be like, I want to be a tyrant just because I want to be a tyrant.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And of course they're going to the tyrant ruler that he was really bad and, stuff happens. So I really don't want to make a villain that it's evil just because he wants to be evil. And I know that the writers and the storyboard directors are really, really talented, and they're really good at making interesting characters. Thus far, they hasn't disappointed with the villains, just like Lightmare Moon, Discord, and Chrysalis, that they all had, they all have a point and a purpose as to why they want to do their things, and each of them are understandable. So I am hoping that this one, it can go both ways. This one could be the weakest villain or the most interesting depends on his ambitions.
Yeah.
Like he like they already said okay, spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, like what they pretty much stated is that in the Crystal Kingdom there is a heart, essentially a heart of power. So obviously he wants that. And what kind of seems like they want like a bunch of, I'm guessing he wants to overthrow Celestia and Luna, most likely. But I want to know if there's any real reason that he's doing that. Like, is he just like, I just want to throw it. Throw it out there. I want to be king for some reason.
They're on the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know if he wants to overthrow them. I just think because it says in there he enslaved the Crystal Kingdom, but they don't really explain why he kind of did it or anything. But
well, we're gonna see that.
Well, I'm guessing the point is like, I just want to say like, if he's the villain and he's doing all these bad things, people aren't really looking for a reason. They're more interested in stuffing him. So, like, no one, when Hitler is invading all these countries, no one went up to Hitler and said, "Hey, why, dude? What's happening?" They just sort of tried to stuff him, and reasons were developed later. And I'm sure they'll develop his reasons eventually. But I don't mind if he's that cliche. Don't make him a running villain if he is. But
yeah.
But they also made him, like, not him, Twilight, like, when they were talking, they also said, oh, when the time comes, it must be you and you alone to fix this, or, I don't know, end it. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of putting out a shitload of pressure.
A little bit.
They said she's ready to move on to her next,
level.
They said she's ready to move on to... Now, this is a massive theory. They said she's ready to move on to next levels of study. And in Germany or something, I don't even remember where, but they had a Twilight Alicorn thing. Someone on... Now, I know 4chan isn't the place to go for information, but
of course
someone said maybe that poster was leaked. Maybe that poster is an early leak. And maybe next level is Alicorn. Who knows?
I highly doubt next level is Alicorn. Well,
no,
yeah.
God, no.
On next level, but I know. I'm on the lookout.
I won't be. I personally won't be happy if she was to be turned into an Alicorn or something.
I think it could work if they spread it out throughout the whole season. Like, it happens at the end. They start the process at the beginning of Season 3, and it happens at the end of Season 3. And then there's, like, some normal friendship-type episodes in between. Because, like, if they try to rush it all in the first 2 episodes with the Crystal Empire, I'm not sure how well that's going to work. But if they make it, like, an arc, and there's something building up to it, it could work.
With that, like, they did say, I think it was Megan McCarthy, she said like how in Season 1, how they had the gala, like, a few of the episodes were building up to the gala, and in the end, like, the big conclusion is we're at the gala, yay.
Sucks.
And they said there was going to be a somewhat continued storyline. They said there was going to be a continuous storyline, like Season 1, which means, like, if it's going to be like Season 1, they'll have a few odd friendship episodes here and there, but one of the central ideas will be it's building up to something.
Yeah. A lot of people say that if she's an Alicorn, that like upsets the balance of her being equal to everyone else, which is part of what makes the show great. But at the same time, if you look at like Ghostbusters, she cringes from that kind of attention, and I think she would actually be kind of a spaz with wings that she doesn't know how to use. So everyone thinks, oh no, she becomes an Alicorn, and then all of a sudden, oh, she's this. What if her personality changes? What if she's all of a sudden regal and all that? And I don't think that's going to happen. I think if anything, if she becomes an Alicorn, she's going to be a giant spaz. Is going to have more friendship problems than ever.
Friendship. More
Absolutely.
friendship.
Just like seeing.
I'm going to say this. I think I think they'll offer her to become an alicorn. She'll be like, no, my friends, I want to be equal. Yeah, friendship.
Yeah,
Something
Twilight
like that.
always had that. Twilight always had that humble personality. She doesn't like to put herself above everybody else.
There's actually one thing I kind of hope that they kind of expand on, especially with this season, because they're talking about kind of strengthening the bond between Luna and Celestia. I really hope, although this sounds really bad, but like I really hope they kind of touch on the subject of people having god complexes and stuff like that, like where Luna just starts feeling like then again, thinking about Nightmare Night, that kind of just throws it out the window, really. But like the way she was acting in the 8-minute Luna was acting in the 8-minute promo, she was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?"
Yeah. Well, if you look at it from her perspective, if the next level of studies is her becoming an alicorn and Celestia is training a replacement in Twilight, then Luna's been gone for 1,000 years. She just plops her flank on the throne. And the next thing she knows, she's being replaced, and she's not even allowed to go on her first adventure. I mean, look at it from her perspective. That kind of sucks.
It
Yeah,
does.
that's true.
It is. It's really, it's kind of a interesting thing right now, but we really gotta wait and see what exactly they're planning for Twilight. And I'm pretty sure that this season they are gonna focus a little bit more on Twilight, making her the bit of a protagonist. And I'm actually really excited. But I think
said as much.
Yeah, but I think we've discussed this a bit long enough. We gotta discuss other news too.
Yeah, we have other stuff. So yeah, like we all have our hopes and dreams that are gonna be shot down for season 3. But I just really hope that it's gonna be a good one, even though it's only 13 episodes, and even though it's probably gonna be situated within the Crystal Kingdom the whole time. I don't really see any doubt with this. Like, I do think this is going to be a really good episode, really good season, and probably their best season overall, I bet.
Yeah, same here.
Now, here's one thing. Here's my theory, and this is totally off. This is more hopes for season 3, but this is totally off the. Oh, it could be part of the premiere. I don't know, but. Have you guys seen the new My Little Pony mobile game promo that they made?
Oh, Gamesloft?
Yeah, Gamesloft.
Yeah, we covered that last week.
Okay, well, here's my theory off that, because I wasn't there last week.
I know.
Trixie's in it, which makes Trixie is the entire main feature of that. She's the one presenting the promo, and.
I haven't seen it actually.
Yeah, same actually.
Well,
I've
suck.
seen it. Yeah,
Oh my
I've
God.
seen it. It's a good one too.
Point is, it's really good. It's got it's got some original animation, and the actual voice actors are doing the promo instead of that one Pinkie Pie, who does the impression for all the hub promos. But basically, Trixie is presenting the game, and she's still cocky as all hell, which makes me think if they brought Trixie back, that makes me pretty sure that they're going to bring her back. But the fact that the two things that make me think is Twilight speaks in good light of her, that Trixie is always she says Trixie is always bragging about her magic, but she doesn't seem angry, which makes me think she's going to kind of become a grown-up sort of Diamond Tiara, in the sense that she might be better than Diamond Tiara, I hope, in the sense that she's a good guy, but she has the arrogance of, say, Rainbow Dash without the loyalties and everything.
Yeah.
So I hope she's back, because I doubt they'd use her if she's in one season. I mean, surely they could have had Rarity presenting it.
There's an episode called Magic Duel coming up this season, and I think a lot of people are speculating that that's the Trixie one.
That's gotta be it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Okay, so yeah, that's it. That's in the next news topic that I wanted to say. We've got the episodes lined up. Episode titles, possible ones anyway. 3 to 9.
Woohoo!
And episode 3, too many Pinkie Pies. Pinkie is Overwhelmed with having to choose just one friend to spend time with, Pinkie Pie uses a magic mirror to clone herself. God help us.
And thus the end of the world begins.
By the way, spoilers.
Well, that's
too
not a
late for
spoiler,
that
that's
now.
just a synopsis.
That's true.
They've released a bunch of episode titles, but they haven't released episode 8. And I think the title is going to give away some sort of spoiler about something that has happened before. So if Twilight becomes an alicorn, let's say in episode 2, maybe the episode 8 title references that, which is why they don't want to release the title yet. Because if you look at the list of the titles that they've released, they skipped 8 for some reason. It's
Yeah,
not a-
the possible 8 one is Apple Family Reunion. But that
Ooh,
could,
that's cool.
that's possible,
want
and
to see-
I
Wait,
can't remember
wait.
who said that. I think it was like an editor, My Little Brony or something. But they said, I hope that's where they address Applejack's parents.
Exactly.
Which
That's
would
exactly
be
what I was gonna say.
excellent.
Because
And possibly a
want
song.
them. I want them to explore that. Where the Applejack's parents, because all that we know, they're a big family, but we still haven't seen the parents.
Well,
Where that came from?
There's
I'm kind of wondering.
Computer, I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. Though,
I'm kind of wondering if maybe, like, this is what, if they did Apple Family Reunion and Applejack's parents are indeed alive, which Reunion makes me assume they are, it's going to be somewhat like that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode where Will's dad comes back. And he's just unreliable. I can imagine that happening in the sense that Applejack's dad, and Big Mac's and Apple Blooms, but is just this all-weather cow pony that's just, it's just a massive, like, I'm trying to think, like he talks like he's Johnny Cash and all that.
It's like a larger-than-life character. That he's like all of the
Yeah.
expectations and all of your dreams are in this person. That you want to be this guy. He's like
And I have a
everybody's role
feeling
model.
that he's going to let them down in some one way or another. He's going to be unreliable.
Maybe they're
But,
gonna build him up. Maybe they're gonna build him up, and once they
Applejack will
actually
build
go
him
to the it was like, oh, my dad is this and that. He's so awesome. And then when he meets him, because Applejack has been caught lying in a bunch of episodes, which is really weird. She's the element of honesty. Wink, wink. Huh?
Well, pretty much every.
It makes me think that Applejack, Applejack.
On form, I am
that-
still.
Whoa. So I'm with their echo, but I can imagine Applejack's dad not being that great, kind of not exactly like Gilda was with Pinkie Pie, but kind of he isn't reliable, and the episode is about Applejack admitting that he isn't that great, that he isn't the man she's built him, or pony, whatever, that she's built him up to be over all these years of absence.
Yeah.
Which would be cool.
Well, who knows? Like, it could throw an entire curveball. Like, their parents say, like, they're both, like, Applejack's mom and dad, like, they're travelers or something like that, and they come by to see. It's like, hey, we know you're working on the orchard and all that, but we found these people that would be great for working the orchard. We want you guys to come travel with us. Kind of stuff like that, Like, it seems like to give an offer to them that, say, like, that's really hard to pass up, and it's kind of like a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing. It's like, I haven't seen my parents in years because they traveled like this. Now they come out of nowhere, ask me to travel? What do you think I'm going to say?
My friend!
I just hope we get to see Brayburn again.
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah, that's my other thing. I'm like, what if a mental cousin? What if Brayburn or something? She's got a cousin that's just the character for one episode. Whatever they want to do with the cousin, whether it's really nice and Applejack could be replaced by this cousin for all I know. And the episode's about like, oh no,
Replaced.
Oh boy.
I swear I remember a show doing that or something where, like, I don't even remember what show. Maybe it was. No, I have no idea what show it was, but someone's family member came in and their family member was essentially better than them, and then everyone preferred their family member over them, and then it, like, turned out that the family member wasn't all good.
It reminds me of Teen Titans.
Yeah. It kind
Maybe
of
it
reminds
was.
me of Fantastic Mr. Fox, where, like, this new cousin came along, and it's like, he was way better than the other protagonist, and then the movie kind of shifts direction and it focuses more on the cousin and basically leaving the second protagonist as a supportive character.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
It was really sad.
Also,
How believed Pinkie Pie when she said that Gilda was evil.
yeah.
Like, Rainbow Dash and Twilight Sparkle didn't want to hear it.
Did she even tell Rainbow Dash? I don't think she did. Until
No,
the
she
end.
didn't.
Rainbow Dash just didn't
No,
notice.
she didn't. I think she was smart enough to know that she had to kind of let her see it for herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clever Pinkie.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
yeah.
Like, you just can't be like, oh, you know that best friend like from high school, all that. Yeah, I don't like him.
I think the moral of that story is that, you know, some people you can be friends to, but there's just other people that are just mean and you just can't make friends with, and those are the people that you really shouldn't be, you know, more focused or attached to. But anyway, I think we're reaching the point in which we have to start the interview, which is the most interesting part of the show.
And that is
So-
my job.
Yep.
Yay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this part is the interview part where I, the host, has to, you know, the horrible host of this show, has to ask our wonderful guests some very interesting questions. So,
I'm sorry, right there.
But
But since this is an interview, I don't think it really qualifies for an explanation.
I know I gotta throw it in there, but so Sprocket, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what
Me?
you do? Yes,
you mean as part of Bronies for Good, or
Yes.
just about?
Yeah, like just general
Yeah.
thing.
general, like what you do for Bronies for Good.
Well, there's several admins for Bronies for Good, and we all kind of share responsibilities. I'm a very new addition. I'm one of the newest additions, and I'd worked with Bronies for Good for a while, kind of tangentially, because I was one of the charity organizers for BronyCon, and I asked that I organized a toy drive and a food drive, and I thought, well, wouldn't it be neat if we had something to give out everyone who donated something? So I said, hey, can you send me some pins or stickers or something that say Bronies for Good, just so that people can have something to wear that says, you know, I donated. Like they give you the little blood drops when you donate blood. And I ended up meeting Master Tortilla, who is one of the other admins at Bronies for Good, and he came in and he was phenomenal and did a lot of the responsibilities, sitting at the table with me as we accepted donations. And you know, that's kind of how my relationship with Bronies for Good began. But it was several months before I actually became an official member, when Ink, the organizer, the guy in charge of the Seeds of Kindness album, he went away for a while, and he asked me to keep an eye on the music end and to like monitor submissions and that sort of thing. And that's kind of how I kind of became part of the team.
Okay.
Cool. So here comes the first question.
Okay, hit me.
Can you give us any details of what Bronies for Good is all about?
We're about Bronies for Good.
Whoa! Wait a minute.
Self-explanatory. Whoa.
So much detail.
Question. Well, basically, the show has always been about all these, you know, positive morals, and you know, we thought that the fandom should put that into action. It started in like July of 2011 on a Pony-chan thread, where three guys were the ones who really started to get everything together, and they discussed how they were going to organize it, and they put together the first project, which was a blood drive. So what they did is they just, you know, they created this website and they encouraged people to go out and donate blood and report back and say, this is how much blood we've donated because of this drive that we're encouraging people to take part of. It was called Nurse Red Hearts and a Blood Drive. And because, you know, you need, in order to accept money for a regular fundraising project, you have to, you know, do all this tax stuff. But we're all parts of like several different countries. So what we kind of just wanted to organize something where we were just more encouraging other people to do good. and it started with the blood drive, and it moved on to other projects from there, and the albums is where we first started to do major fundraising, and money didn't go through our hands because it went through a third party charity, and it goes directly to the charities, and we would just kind of monitor the donations and give up prizes appropriately.
Actually, that's actually a pretty good way of starting a charity blood drive, because I've seen that happen too around here. Next question. Here we go.
Yeah, I believe the first blood drive raised 17 liters of blood.
Oh, wow.
Was
Wow. Blood?
17 liters of blood. Not all plates.
I wouldn't be able to handle that.
Do you know if those were like sent to the Red Cross or anything?
People went to their local blood drives and reported back to us. So it was from all over. Probably in association with the Red Cross, but there's other organizations like most states have there's like New York Blood Center, there's New Jersey Blood Center, and people went to wherever and donated blood. They looked into whatever was local to them, and then said, I donated X amount of blood to this organization, and they reported back to us, and we added it up just to kind of say, this is what we accomplished.
It's really cool.
This is what we as a fandom accomplished.
It's really cool, actually.
Yeah. When we did another blood drive a couple months later, and there was 37 liters that we raised.
A lot of blood.
Yeah, it's like a bathtub full of blood right there.
Oh no, please.
And that actually,
boy.
and all that blood did save lives. I can tell you that
Yeah.
right now.
Seriously.
I've needed blood too for what my job has. I've actually needed blood several times, and I do thank people for that, for donating blood, because really that's a big part of the army. Actually, when you get hurt over there, they just start pumping you full of plasma and blood, because that's what you get hurt, they'll pump you full of plasma and blood, and then they'll cover it. They don't really do a good job, actually, until you get into like Germany or actually back overseas. They really just patch you up.
I hope they at least give you the right blood type.
They try. I'm in O positive. They gave me, I think it was, I can't remember what they gave me, but I was sick as a dog for a while. But let's get out of that stuff right now. So, can you tell-
America.
Yes.
You have B positive blood? Okay, here's O negative.
Yeah.
Just straight O negative.
Can you tell us about the 7 stages for the project?
Like for the Seeds of Kindness 2
Yeah.
project.
Yeah, well, it's basically all funding an orphanage, and it's getting built in different phases. They start with the foundation, then they move on to the walling, then they start building the roof structure. Did I just say wolf structure?
Yes, you said wolf.
Wolf structure. And,
Wolf.
I thought this was for
they move on
children.
You're building a house with wolves in it.
Yeah. It's like, is that their gun
a house
system?
made of wolves.
To protect them.
But then they move on to doors and windows. Step 5 is plumbing. Step 6 is internal and external finishes, making it an actual livable place. And then the step 7 is electricity. So it's built in several phases, all of which have transparency. Your siblings, the charity that is working with this local orphanages, they visit at any time, and the accounts are completely transparent, and they monitor the progress to make sure that the funds are going towards actually building these things, which they are. And because a big part of charity organizing is making sure that it all goes to the right place. And but there's complete transparency here, and we there's pictures on our website of the progress of the project as it's coming along.
Like, I've seen the pictures in it, and they're up to the walls right now.
Yeah.
How big is the building in general? Do you know?
I don't know the dimensions of it exactly. I know from the photos. They don't send us blueprints, but
They're eyeing it.
yeah. But enough to fit a lot of orphans in.
That's good.
Yeah.
I support the whole
But a whole bunch
orphanage
of
thing and all that because I've seen orphans, and it's not a pretty sight. It really isn't. I've seen rundown orphanage when I was over in Afghanistan and now Iraq. It's not, and I really feel bad for those kids because I take a drink of just some clean water, to shower with, and I waste a lot of that. Everybody wastes, good clean water, but over there, they're pulling water out of canals and stuff that there's like dead animals in it, dead people in it, ammunition, blown up vehicles, all sorts of crap like that in the water, and they bathe in that and drink in that, and they do everything in it. And I feel bad for them, but giving them a place where they can, have electricity, have clean water, and a roof over their head, that just makes my day.
Yeah, and the important when your siblings screens individual projects that they're going to fund, one of the criteria they use is sustainability. They don't just want to build something that they can't, that the people that once the money is gone they can't afford to maintain. So one of the things that they're doing is they're putting together like a chicken farm, so that once this orphanage is built and expanded, that they can afford to keep it going, that there's a means to keep it maintained, to keep it in motion, to keep it active and functional. So the money doesn't just fund this building and then there's nothing to support it. It has to be a self-sustaining project.
Yeah, and you want that because you don't want to be building something so, too advanced and they can't get, the materials that they need to keep it going. And what it looks like they're building it out of, I can't really tell. It's some sort of either concrete or of a brick of some sort.
Yeah, it looks like brick.
So, which is actually really good because you can just, if there starts, getting cracks in it, they can really just cover that over with some concrete or anything like that. Which is good. You want a sturdy house. They don't want to just build something that's going to come down in 3 years. That building right there, if they build it just right, which I know they will last more than 10 to, hell, even 30 years it could, if with
sure. I mean,
well maintained.
Look at brick buildings. There's brick buildings that are hundreds of years old. If they keep it up, they'll be able to keep it in good repair.
And I'm glad for that too. And they're not building it out of wood or something that can rot away or have problems with bugs, because it's what, Ugarian or I don't know. Uganda. And that's Africa, isn't it?
Yes, it's Africa.
Yes, so they have problems with termites and all that. So it's good they're making it out in concrete.
We have problems with termites. There's termites everywhere.
True, but it's, over, let's say in America, you can kind of fix that. Over there, I don't think they can really fix that because they don't have, basic pest control, really.
True.
But
they don't have the right chemicals to just throw in your house, kick you out.
Pretty much, or put the, the tent over your house, the little
the circus
carnival tent. Yeah.
Hey, the circus is in town. Some kids go in there. Oh god.
Oh god. I actually have read stories about that. But
really? Ugh.
Yes.
I feel bad.
Okay. Next question.
Okay.
When do you think Seeds of Kindness 2 will reach its goal?
That is entirely up to you, the fandom. We obviously made our first milestones, the biggest milestones, when we first began, because it was, a big premiere and people started to really flood in the donations. But, with time they start to slow down a bit, and when we reach our goals, I can't say, I can't predict that. That's really up to the fandom, and I'm hoping sooner rather than later. In December is the deadline for the prizes, which is a big part of the Seeds of Kindness. A lot of people think it's just the album, but the people who donate the most get access to get their pick of prizes, and the deadline for that is December. So we're hoping that in December we'll get a few more last-minute donations, but it's really impossible to say when the goals will be met. And that's what I'm here to talk to you guys about, so that all your listeners go out and donate. And
we'll make sure.
The more you donate, the faster the orphanage will reach their goal, and that's our goal.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I had if I had a method of paying online, then I actually would donate to this, because I really like how I was reading up on it, and I really like how 100% of my the money I send is used for the fundraiser. Like I really like how they have that set up for it.
Yeah, that's something rare in a lot of charities. A lot of charities spend a lot on administrative costs, and then you have to wonder, how can they justify their expenses? But 100% actually goes towards helping people, and that, like I said, one of the hardest things about charity fundraising is picking a cause where there's both transparency and you can be sure that your money is going to the right place.
Yeah.
That was a huge problem with Coney 2012. It's about the first 3 to 5 days, everyone was around it. Then people started investigating the charity more, and then I think it was about 60% of the money donated. It was either 60% of the money donated went towards flights and recording equipment to make these actual videos, or was the other way around?
They're not, because they weren't a relief effort. They were a publicity effort. They wanted to make people aware of the Coney situation, and so it actually went to funding more documentaries and things like that, and to press kits to make people aware. And a lot of people weren't 100% clear that that's what was happening, and they were mad when they found out that that's where their money went.
Yeah, so it was really more of an awareness campaign rather than an actual, hey, we want to make a change campaign.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was actually bad on their part.
That project fell flat on its face.
Yeah.
It did.
It would have worked if they had made that paint the night thing in the first week. If they had it 7 days after the video was made, it probably would have worked.
Yeah, people caught on quick with it. They're just like, where's this money going to? And then but what are you going to do sometimes?
Yep.
Oh well.
So what else do you want to know about Seeds of Kindness?
Well, what sparked the inspiration to continue with Seeds of Kindness and make a second album?
Well, I think the obvious answer is the success of the first one. We started first with Smile, which was an album that came before Seeds of Kindness, which was sort of the predecessor to Seeds of Kindness, which was successful. It raised about 27,000 euros for the Children's Cancer Association. But then we used that template to kind of start Seeds of Kindness into something bigger and to focus on charity Your Siblings and on doing this work in the third world. And by then the fandom was bigger and we were able to get the word out more, and we raised 40,000 euros. And it's by far our most successful project to date. And so, why not do more of that? I think it's the most concrete, this is the impact that, that we as a fandom, can make in doing good in the world. And, you can just look at the results and see it and see that, we accomplished a great deal. And so, the logical progression was to do more of that winning combination.
Yeah, good
Wow,
answers, guys.
nice.
Good answers.
I do the and you all guys do the.
Yeah, we
It's
all
like
gotta
King
do
of the Hill
nods.
What?
Simultaneous nods, like, yep.
Yeah, I think there was like a moment of silence there.
Yep.
Can you tell us a bit more about this new album? Like, what's this? Like, who's going to be on it and the songs and whatnot?
Well, it's already out. I mean, you're talking about Scenes of Kindness 2, Faithful and Strong, yes?
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, it came out. It came out in September. The Seeds of Kindness project isn't just an album. There's, like I said, there's prizes and all that, and there's just donation. But the album goes free to everybody. We had quite a few submissions, and we had to go through them all. There was a lot of enthusiasm for the project, and I guess the biggest name on the playlist is Forest Rain, and he did a really impressive piece, sort of a Solar Empire kind of piece called Raise the Sun, and so you want to know exactly who's on it? Is that your question?
Yeah, I just want to know a little bit, like, who's the artist and whatnot, like, who's, on there.
Well,
if you can tell us.
Sure. There's I'm going to pull up the playlist right now. There's quite a few people. Let me see.
While he does that, I'm going to entertain everyone with an interpretive dance.
Like, I have 2 songs on there. Peak Freak and Cyril the Wolf did some collaborations. Macon, as usual, did one. He always does incredible orchestral stuff. So Great and Powerful is on there. Seventh Element, just a lot of people on there. It's 36 tracks total.
Big album.
Yeah, it is a big album. If it was CDs, it would be more than one.
Yeah,
but
3 or 4 right there.
Nah, it's more like a 2-disc album. So there's no like one. It's not about. Well, this is the one hit single from Faithful and Strong, Seeds of Kindness 2. It's a group effort. There's lots of good music. There's stuff in there for everybody, whether you like rock, whether you like classical, whether you like electronic. There's music from all across the spectrum, and we sifted through all of it to make sure, for quality control, to make sure that everything in it was good and worth listening to. So there's a lot of worthy tracks on there. So I can't just say, well here's the song from Seeds of Kindness 2, or here's the artist. To tell you the stories of every single artist would be, it would take what we have here. And frankly, I don't know the stories of every single one of these people. I just know that lots and lots of musicians, expressed enthusiasm for the project, donated their music. A lot of musicians actually make money off of their music through Bandcamp, but the download is exclusive through here. So that's, a donation of music really is, legitimate donation. This is stuff that people put, hours, days, weeks of their lives into making, and, because they believe in the project. And, every single one of them is worthwhile. I've listened to the whole thing, several times as one of the judges and one of the pre-screeners, and it's all solid.
Good. I mean, I'm 36 songs for how much is it exactly? I'm not looking at it right now. Is it like is it 10 euros or something? I'm trying to remember what I saw.
I'm not sure if there's a minimum. I know if you donate, you get a copy. But here, let me double check, because I don't know offhand, because I wasn't.
Because I'm willing to go and buy this right now, because you've convinced me.
Yeah, sure. Go to broniesforgood.org, and on the top there's a whole section called Seeds of Kindness 2, and there's you can scroll down and it'll show the album. It'll give a track list. If you do a YouTube search for Seeds of Kindness, or for Faithful and Strong, which is the actual full name of the Seeds of Kindness 2 album, you'll find a lot of people's previews and a lot of people's tracks, and you can listen to them, and they're all really good. And yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So, what gave you the idea to have a Christmas prize event with Seeds of Kindness 2? Well,
I think the timing is what made it a Christmas prize, because in Seeds of Kindness 1 we also gave out prizes to the highest donors, because it was just kind of a general massive drive. The album is a part of it. The album is given out to people who donate. It's not, but Seeds of Kindness project is more than that. There's all sorts of prizes you can win, from art, to sculpture, to basically anything. It's all over the place, and the people who donate the most get their first pick, and so it's sort of a general fundraising drive with the album as a bonus. So since the deadline is December, because we released in September, that's where we cut off, saying for counting the highest donors. This is kind of the fact that it's sort of a holiday sort of prize thing is just sort of related to the timing, and we're just kind of following what we did the first time.
And it says December 25th, correct? Is that the last day for it?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't want to say something and be wrong.
But should we say till, like, I don't know, January?
Well, no, the cutoff point is in December, but yeah. It says before December 25th, so I would have it in before December 25th.
Okay. So, make sure everybody needs to donate now.
Yeah, if you look, there's a list of prizes that are available. Some of which are like some of which involve like the voice actress for Spitfire in Sweden contacted us and started autographing stuff that would be prizes, and we've got a signed Justco print. We've got one of the Fluttershy trading cards signed by the VAs and the production staff from Everfree. It's a collectible. There's custom scarves. Like I said, the prizes are all over the place. You can look at our list if you look under the Seeds of Kindness section of our website. I'm not going to list all of them, but the cutoff point is just before December 25th.
Okay.
Yeah, and just one thing here.
Yeah.
I'm also doing my part in this little project. The co-founder actually came to me one day and asked me to help with the prizes part. There is a small list of artists that are actually going to give out one free commission for certain people, and I'm actually a part of that, and somebody's going to get a free commission from me. I hope I do my best, really. But
awesome.
yeah, it really is exhilarating trying to do a little tiny grains of sand for this big project.
I'd brohoof you, but it's like in person you can brohoof someone. When you're typing, you can sort of make that little shape. But when you're just doing a voice chat, I can't really like brohoof voice, but massive brohoofs to you for donating your time.
Thank
We do our best.
Just to imagine a little slash with the bracket parentheses that makes the shape.
Oh, punch the screen. Is that a good?
Yeah, just punch it till it cracks. That's how you know you've done it right.
Yes.
Like once you have to make sure your hand goes right through the screen, then that way it comes out the other side.
See, I've gone through like 4 computers that way. See, I see ponies on one end of the screen, and I'm convinced that if I can break the glass, I can get to Equestria, but it doesn't work.
It's like when I try to put money at my screen, it's not working.
Yeah, exactly. Just pound it until my knuckles bleed, and then there's just circuits and stuff in there. I didn't think Equestria would look like that, but it's just circuits.
There's no ponies on this side. They lied.
Yeah.
It's the Matrix.
It's like they sense that you're trying to get in, and they shut down the portal.
Wait a minute. That guy over there.
What?
Hold on. Is he trying something?
Yeah.
Abort! Abort!
What's this guy going? Oh shit! He punched.
Okay.
Get out now.
Have you received any support from the people who work on My Little Pony, like the staff?
Well, like I said, the Swedish Spitfire has been autographing stuff for prizes, and at conventions, a lot of times the talent stop by at our table and say they approve of what we're doing, and we will go up to certain voice talents and say, "Here, can you sign this? It's going up for auction in the charity auction for this convention." And a lot of a lot of the charity work for conventions involved running around saying, if there was a Comic-Con San Diego, I think 2011 poster that was signed by a bunch of people, and it was during auction. It was going up for like $1,000 or like $2,000 or something like that, because when there's that convention energy, people are just really literally throwing their money all over the place. And then Lauren Faust gets up, signs it right there in front of people, $4,000 on the spot for that one item.
Wow.
But most of it, most of the things that are autographed, we get autographed ahead of time, and so that, and they're more than happy to do it because they realize, all they have to do is sign something, and that just, raises all this, raises the price of it for the auction and towards towards raising money for a good cause. So as a charity organizer for BronyCon, that's more my direct experience with that. I mostly manned the table and wasn't the person dealing with the voice actors specifically. But I know Tara Strong contacted Bronies for Good, for support for her pet project, was raising money for Kiki's Cancer Fund, for a family having trouble paying for their daughter's cancer treatments. So we've dealt with Tara Strong directly because she asked for our support in her charity project. But as far as official, like anything with Hasbro, we don't really have an official relationship with anybody. It's
still, nonetheless, voice actors giving you their support. That's great.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. Just I hadn't gotten a chance to really deal with any of the voice actors because I'd been manning the charity table the whole time, and I wasn't the one running around getting things signed. And so so I just really hadn't had time for them. And then on Sunday, after the official everything was closed, I went over to the bar and just figured I'd have some soup and a beer before I left. And Master Tortilla and I plopped our posters down on the table behind us. One of which was a poster that made it clear that was charity, and the other was just a personal poster that was just an official BronyCon poster. We just laid them down because there's the only place to lay it down. Lee Tokar, the voice of Stephen Magnet, signed it behind our backs because he said, "Oh, it's charity," and he just signed it out of goodwill. And then he looked and was like, "Did he just sign that?" And we went over and he thanked him. He was just the sweetest man. And we ended up striking up a conversation with him. And the people who work on the show tend to be really impressed and supportive of our charity efforts. So we have the poster that just said, that we hung up over our table that said charity now is signed, and it had it had art from people's dealers' tables all over, just like draw a little doodle of a pony on it. So it's got all these doodles and it's signed, and one of my personal BronyCon posters that happened to be next to it was signed just because he was being a nice guy. And so there's, like I said, there's no official ties to Hasbro or whatever, but our encounters with the people working on the show have been extremely positive. Sometimes they've come right up to us and said they like what we're doing, and it's been pretty amazing.
I just have to say I love this community for that, because we pour out money, and the cast for the show and the staff for the show are just so willingly to help out in this community. I mean, everybody's willing to help out in this community, and it's an amazing community. And it kind of bothers me that we get flack from other people hating on us, going, "Oh, you watch a show all about ponies and stuff." It's not just about that, actually.
It's about life.
It is about life, and yeah, we all pull together over a little kid show. That's really what it is, but that can also just be, just the screen of it, because everything else is it's just this huge community that can just tolerate a lot of what the world throws at us.
I think the amazing thing is the energy, because I mean, I've always, valued charity, but I didn't really get off of my flank and get directly involved in it until this community, because I just saw, there's a real can-do spirit. There's this electricity in the air. We're growing so fast, and everyone is just so enthusiastic, like that. If you just look at the auctions at the conventions, someone bid $150 for the trimmed mustache hair of the manliest brony in the world. Just because it was funny to do so, and like I said, that one poster went for about $4,000, and there's just this energy in the air. And whereas you think before, like, yes, I believe in charity, it's a good thing, but what can I do that'll make a real difference? And just, Bronies for Good is really just a couple of guys who got together and said, let's see what we can do. And we've raised tens of thousands of euros for these people in the third world. And it's just amazing the impact that just, a little bit of organization, a little bit of elbow grease has been able to get done. And the fandom has been responding so positively. So many musicians wanting to contribute, so many people donating their time and their efforts and their talents, and so many people just going, oh, a charity thing, let me throw my money at that. And it's like, and the fandom has just, it's like this wildfire they keep spreading, and the enthusiasm is just incredible. And not just, in others, but like, personally, myself, it's kind of like that spark that Twilight feels at the end of the pilot, that just ignites the elements of harmony. I think a lot of us, the show has struck this chord with us, and it just makes us kind of want to go out and shout at the top of the hills, I love ponies, and I want to do all this good in the name of ponies. And yeah.
Exactly.
And people always say, oh, there's 15-year-olds to 20-year-olds that don't do anything, that live with their mama and stuff like that watch My Little Pony. No, and I'm an example of that. I'm an airborne combat engineer. I jump out of planes, I dig up bombs, and I shoot people. That's all I do. And I've been doing that for, since I was 17 years old. I've been doing that. And I'm 21 right now. I've been blown up so many times. I just got back from actually being blown up and injured really bad.
Wait. So it's true. You can be blown up and then explode again.
Yes, it is true.
Can explode twice.
Spike was right.
You can explode twice.
Confirmed.
And I have been exploded twice. Yes, it does. It's not fun. I've been... And I used to ride around in a vehicle when I was on my first deployment for a while. It's designed to be blown up. It's designed. You drive out in front, and you're in this armored vehicle, and you're just sitting, waiting for a giant boom. And then, because what happens is the vehicle's pretty much destroyed, but you're okay. And as soon they're like, you have your trucks behind you, go, yo, you okay? And I'm always going, yeah, I am okay. And I'm pissed because you're, listening to your music, and just driving down a road at about 40 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden, boom. Can't hear anything, you're pissed off, there's smoke everywhere, you don't know what's going on, and people are hollering at you going, are you okay? How would you feel?
I think the amazing thing is that it has the show has attracted a large military contingent.
Oh, it has.
Yeah.
I've met a few people. I've actually seen a tank, a Abrams tank with the Rainbow Dash right on the side of it, her little flank. Her little cutie mark. I've seen outside of it, and I'm just like, right on. And I carried, actually, a Rainbow Dash in one of my pockets as a good luck charm. And actually, I have a funny story, well, more of a sad story about that. When I got blown up, piece of shrapnel cut her in half in my right shoulder, and pretty much that saved me from it. Well, saved it from going all the way into my shoulder and cutting majorly into my bone and probably ruining my arm. Yes, I have tingling and stuff in my hands once in a while and can't play the guitar anymore from that, but I would have to say Dashy did save my life.
Good
Like,
luck.
save my arm, really. But I had to give it a burial. I brought it back, and it was in 2 pieces, and it was just destroyed. And I'm like, this sucks. But I went out and bought another one, so... But it will never replace that, and that is always going to be special to me, because...
And it's grabbed, that in particular has grabbed a lot of the creators' attention. I know somebody who went to BronyCon, and everyone wanted a piece of Lauren Faust's time, and she found out, and I forgot, she ran into him and she found out that he was military, and she wanted to ask him a bunch of questions because she was fascinated by the whole military Brony contingent, and she really wanted to know what it was like and what that experience was, and that was something that really struck a chord with her personally.
And I just love our community because we're so vastly spread out. I mean, the crew for this podcast is spread out. I mean, Nick's in Canada, Cinnamon's in Puerto Rico, and Tommy's in Australia.
Bronies for good, half of
It's
us
everywhere.
Bronies for good, half of us are in Europe, and the reason that I keep Luna hours, so I'm actually usually the one chatting with them, and I'm actually asleep when the Americans are talking. But I keep bizarre hours. But yes, we're all over France, Germany, America.
Yeah.
But I only have one problem with that. I'm in Canada? When that happened? Like,
What?
What?
Since when was I in Canada, though?
You're always been in Canada.
When weren't you in Canada?
I'm Canadian?
I'm going to
Wait a
smack
minute.
you so
No, your
hard.
personality represents that of a strong representative Australian. Your
Always
personality just rings of Australia.
Do you have anything else you want to ask about Bronies for good or Shades of Kindness, or just or we can just chat some more about general pony stuff?
Well, is
either
there a possibility?
is.
Well, I was going to say, is there a possibility for Seeds of Kindness 3?
We don't have any specific plans already in motion because we're focusing on Seeds of Kindness 2 right now because it's an ongoing effort, not just when the first release of it. But I think that there will probably be a Seeds of Kindness 3. I can't give any details because we haven't even finished Seeds of Kindness 2 yet, but I expect that to be on the horizon at some point.
I guess this kind of concludes tonight's interview. I mean, well, Ragin, you don't have any more questions for Nick? Anybody else?
No, we can stop the interview, or we can kind of try to continue on, or we can just talk about random stuff now.
Oh, we can do the following. We can, if you have any more questions to ask him, it's like if you got something on your guys' mind, or we can also do the viewer questionnaire. Then again, that'll depend on how active the chat is tonight.
Someone gonna be like, Sprocket Doggingsworth, why are you so awesome? I'm glad you asked that question.
Well, let's have some.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello? Oh, for a minute.
Yeah.
Went silent for a second.
Yeah.
Oh, well, so it was random.
We got one from Hero.
It's Pigman.
Oh, it's Pigman. Stop changing your name, Pigman. And he's always asking this: do you like waffles?
Do I like waffles? Yes. I love waffles. But it needs real syrup on it. None of this log cabin high fructose corn junk. Real maple syrup
Yes.
is the only way to have waffles.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is no other substitute for syrup. It has to be maple syrup. It has to be from the maple trees.
From maple trees, and I prefer my waffles imported from Belgium, for they are Belgian waffles. I just want to fly to Belgium, grab waffles, come back, eat the waffles. Okay, I've never been to Belgium, but I imagine waffles are very good. But yes, everyone loves waffles.
Yeah.
Alright.
Shout to waffles.
Shout out to waffles.
Yeah, shout out.
No, I think crepes have got their number. I like crepes.
Yeah, I like grape.
Yeah, crepes are good.
Never actually really had crepes. Probably just occasionally, but never really like.
How? Like half your country's
I
French.
have.
Half?
Well,
Are you kidding?
even my country sell crepes.
When I was
My
in
country
Europe,
sell crepes.
I was surprised their pancakes are basically flat crepes. It's like these tiny, really thin, flat, almost like tortilla crepes with just jelly and fruit dumped on it, and it's good, but it's like that's their version of pancakes. I was like surprised.
Your versions of pancakes.
So, it's awkward silence surprisingly regarding pancakes.
Yeah,
I love how we go from
Pancakes.
charity to pancakes.
it's good transition.
It is a good transition.
It's called professional transitions.
I know, right?
I like it when they call them flapjacks. I think there should be like a law saying that everyone has to call them flapjacks because it's just a funny sounding word.
I haven't heard somebody say flapjacks actually in a long time. Actually, I've always
Well,
said pancakes.
Flapjacks.
I've never
Right.
heard someone in real life say flapjacks. It's only been on TV shows.
Yeah.
It's only been on a cartoon, and that cartoon is on the Misadventures of Flapjack.
And it kind of sucked.
Never seen that.
It was short-lived. Trust me, it was short-lived. It had a very decent. I'm gonna ramble, but I really don't want to ramble. But I just want to say that it had a really interesting idea. I loved the style. The design was great. Execution was a little sloppy, and it was short-lived for good reasons.
All those
That's it.
Cartoon Network shows that everyone says like, oh, they were great, like Flapjack and Chowder. I hate all of those. I really don't like them. And people say this is exactly like old Cartoon Network. No, it's not. Don't you ever dare compare Ed, Edd and Eddy to
Yeah.
bloody Chowder. Get out of here.
I mean,
Chowder was okay. It was okay.
Chowder was fantastic. For me, it was fantastic the first episodes, but then after season 1 and seasons 2 started kicking out, the quality just went down like really bad. Because I love the concept. Oh, sorry. This is just I watch a lot of cartoons and I do over analyzations of them. It's just this is off topic really. Just to end it real quick.
To bring the point back home, the beautiful thing about Seeds of Kindness is, regardless of whether you prefer pancakes, flapjack, crepe, or waffles, you can give that money to charity and it will make just as big a difference to these orphans in Uganda. So if you're waffle folk, pancake folk, they've been at war for thousands of years, but you can come together and regardless of which side you're on, team waffle, team pancake, you can just donate to through Seeds of Kindness to your siblings and just watch this orphanage get built before your eyes.
And then they can have waffles and pancakes.
Can I donate?
Now all I can imagine now is this cartoon waffle, this cartoon crepe, this cartoon pancake.
Oh my god.
All holding hands and singing "Smile, Smile, Smile," like the scene "Smile, Smile, Smile." They've all got their hands together in a
Why are you
lock.
putting that image in my head?
My God,
Because it would make a funny ad.
I'm gonna have
that's the
some
most
good
beautiful
dreams
thing I've ever heard.
Well, I want to get off of waffles and pancakes because I'm actually starting to get hungry for them now. I've actually watched the little trailer for The Littlest Pet Shop, and I'm actually kind of hooked on the show now.
Are you seeing the trailer, the one musical number?
I like it. For some reason, I like it a lot. I don't know. I think the hub is starting to...
I haven't seen that. Studio B is doing it though, right?
Yes, and the funny thing is the dog that they made it's like a Twilight version, but as dog. Like she's turned into a dog. It's the same damn hair, so you're just like, what? But it's got, just watching it, like it looks like it's like the first, episode, and the girl's like freaking out. She's like, why are these animals talking? This is a bad trip, man. I don't want to be here, man.
Those are some trippy looking animals. There's some trippy looking animals.
But, I mean, she's having a natural reaction if you went into a pet shop and animals started talking and jumping around and dancing. What would you be doing? Freaking out. And she doesn't really start screaming or anything, but she's just giving like, man, I should not have taken that hit, man. Just like one of those. Like, she's freaking out like she had shrooms or something. I'm saying don't do it. Kids, don't do drugs. But right now, I love it. It looks really good. The art style is a little bit different, but I can work with that. It doesn't look, cheesy because it's made by Studio B, and we know Studio B can't make, because we can look at...
How's the writing and the execution?
It looks really good. I mean, it looks like it's...
How are the stories and the characters?
They don't really explain really much with the story. They kind of give, like, there's a mongoose, a mini panda, a dog, a monkey, and a lizard. And they all have different, and they're not all girls.
Yeah.
Some of them are boys. So, thank God. I think one or two is a boy. There's a hedgehog too. I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't really appreciate how proactive our fandom could be until I was on the Hub website and I saw a preview of the Pound Puppy show and it had the Wiener Dog, and I loved the Wiener Dog. So I watched the scene and I said, okay, I'll watch an episode to see, just to see what it's like. I couldn't find one online anywhere. Meanwhile, if a pony episode goes up 5 seconds later, there's just like hundreds of YouTube clips of it. And I think that I kind of got spoiled because I was used to that. And I still have, I don't have the Hub, and to this day I have not seen an episode of Pound Puppies to determine whether or not, it's any good, because they don't have that sort of online fandom that's constantly reposting this stuff. And all I saw was the preview clip with the Wiener Dog, and I have a Wiener Dog, and I love Wiener Dogs. So everyone loves Wiener Dogs.
So I'm probably you go, Tommy.
Okay, well, Lila's Pet Shop. The one thing that kind of annoys me is, I guarantee that one thing that doesn't seem to be getting to the Hub particularly is that My Little Pony was a huge exception in how big it got and for the reasons it got. And now they think that any single show they make, if they slap Pony somewhere, people will instantly fall in love with it, which is, my theory is that's why they designed the dog to look like Twilight, so all these photos would go up about Twilight and the dog. And the voice of the main girl is Ashley Ball, and it's pretty much a Rainbow Dash voice, and I'm pretty... it's just a theory again, but I can...
Well, the voice actors...
I can seriously... Well,
voice actors
I can seriously imagine just them telling everyone likes Rainbow Dash, do Rainbow Dash. And that's why it sounds identical.
Well, they've always used a lot of the same voice actors. The industry has always been like that. It's a small, tight-knit community because one person can do more than one voice, and once you find someone that works well and that you can work with well, they bring on the same team. If you look at the 80s, there's like 5 people doing every single voice for every cartoon that was on Saturday mornings in the 80s, and the same thing for the 90s, and the same thing for the aughts, and now the teens. That's just kind of how the industry works.
Yeah, it's kind of like the movie industry if you look at it in that perspective. It's very boxed in, and most voice actors have a certain good voice actors have a large range of voices, and basically like a lot of producers and a lot of writers, they kind of basically do all these projects and do all these shows kind of together. And for example, Tara Strong, it's she's everywhere. She's in everything. So it kind of tells you that, Tara Strong basically knows everybody in that business. Yeah. And it's pretty crazy. And and it's just so tight. It's so tight and so small. Everybody knows everybody. So
exactly.
Yeah. It's kind of the same thing with our...
Hello?
In a way. That's what
he cuts out.
Yeah.
You cut off for a second.
Yeah. My internet's pretty bad today. But it's kind of like our community, since most bronies know pretty much everybody because of the conventions and stuff that we do.
Keeps cutting out on us.
Pretty.
His crappy island internet.
I blame my 2 megabyte internet for this.
2 megabyte, disgusting.
It's a dial-up.
Pretty much is.
McDonald's Wi-Fi.
Donate to Seeds of Kindness.
Yeah.
Yes,
Maybe you'll
do
get a better
it.
internet.
We're telling you right now to do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna
do
that
your
actually.
part. I know I'm doing it. Maybe. I don't know.
Go help. Actually, just do it. Not just for getting something. Do it for those kids out there. Because how would you feel if you were out there in the the elements and stuff? Didn't have clean water. Didn't have a shelter. Didn't have clean clothes or electricity or regular food. How would you feel?
How would you feel if you were suddenly in Uganda? Just think about that.
Just all of a sudden.
Wow.
I would probably be thinking
Stop saying it sounds like crap over there, man. It probably is, but still.
It's really terrible. It is a really, 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 really terrible
I don't even think
place.
the tourists go to that section.
It's a basically country torn by war. It's
and HIV. There's a huge death rate over there.
Yeah, it's a horrifying place, and people really do a lot to actually care. And like a lot of people, there's a lot of organizations that give like medicine, that try to help the poor, and they all do it freely. And even with all those organizations trying to help, it's just really difficult because the government there is so corrupted, and it's a country torn by war that, you know.
And some don't even have governments, actually.
Exactly, and it's just a really, really difficult place to be. And being a child in such a harsh environment, it's something that really just torns your heart when you just keep thinking about it. And projects like this really just shows not just that bronies are good, but this just shows that there is good in humanity. Just real, honest good.
I think that's kind of what the show did for a lot of people. You hear all of these stories of people with their road to Damascus tales of how they were jerks, and then they watched My Little Pony, and then they weren't. And I think it's, like you said, Hasbro was trying to capitalize on the success of it, but I don't think you can quantify it. I think it's larger than the sum of its parts, because you ask 100 bronies why they like the show, and the standard answer is the animation is so good, the voice acting is so good, the writing is so good. But there are 1,000 other shows where there's good acting and there's good writing and things like that, and good music. And there are even shows with bigger fandoms, you know, or just phenomenon like Star Wars is obviously going to have a bigger fandom than My Little Pony, but the wave of enthusiasm that it has struck this chord with people, I think it's bigger than any, because there are episodes that are flawed, and I think it's bigger than just the people who put it together. It's bigger than Lauren Faust altogether. I think it's just something it struck a chord with so many people. It's like something that was like waiting to happen. It just kind of awoke this hope in people, because I think that's what people need right now. And I think my personal theory is that you know, just the dream of Equestria is just so beautiful that it like shines a light on the goodness within ourselves, and that's why so many people are responding to it so positively, saying, you know, I'm seeing this beautiful show about friendship, and it's inspired me to have all these, you know, positive feelings. Maybe I can live that. Maybe I can feel that feeling every day with, you know, because of how I live, because of I'm inspired by this cartoon about horses and the elements of harmony. And it sounds so absurd when you say it out loud, but it just kind of has resonated with people in a really astounding way. And I think that you know, it's motivated a lot of people to go out there and do good in the world, because you see that, and you look at Smile, and you watch the video and you say, you know, there is good in the world, and I can be part of it, and I can go out there and say, you know, I'm going to make it better, because it can be done. Because look at that you know, that moved me to have just this moment of beauty, just watching it, and it makes you just want to go out there and just spread that to the world.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, today I was going to the mall today I had a friend. I asked a friend to come with me just to hang out, because I hadn't seen him in a while. So, and I'm just telling him what I've been doing for a while and everything. And I came across, I just was like, because I'm not hiding it anymore. I'm just like, I'm like, hey, do you watch the show My Little Pony? He's like, do you watch that show? And I'm guessing he thinks it's something older. And I go, yeah, I watch that show. Is there anything wrong with it? He's like, dude, it's just nothing but colored ponies and stuff, and it's girly. I'm like, it's not that girly. And I explained it to him a bit, and he's still not getting it. And I'm like, well, I'm a host of this podcast show that we talk about it every week. He's like, how? There's people that watch the show beside you? I'm like, yeah, there's people older than me that watch this show. I mean, yeah, it's not just for little girls and stuff, but this fandom is so huge, and I try to explain it to him, he doesn't get it, so I bring him to Hot Topic, and I show him what he says, and he's like, I can't believe this, and...
I bet people wouldn't believe it either. When I got... I have a Day of the Dead Applejack tattoo, and I went to my tattoo artist, and he started talking about it, and he watched this show because he has a little girl, and I told him about Bronies, and he just didn't believe me. And every time I went back there, because I'm friends with some of the people there, that like we talk about it, and he just wouldn't believe me. So
Shout out
phone. Hold on a second.
Shout out to phone.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out to the phone.
Best phone in the world.
Yeah, like, though, continuing on the topic, like, my best friend actually knows that I'm a brony, and he knows of the bronies. And he's an anti-brony, essentially, and it's fun when, whenever we get in, like, arguments and stuff like that. Like, whenever one time, I shown him a video of, like, the video that when me, Shadow, and Tommy were playing, Slender and stuff like that. I ended up...
I deleted that.
Oh, yeah, well, it was a long time ago. But,
I saw it, it was funny.
Yeah, like, I showed him that, and then when he, like, the first thing he says, of course you'd be friends with a brony, I was like, no shit. Oh, yeah.
Fuck you, fuck your friend.
Yeah.
Fight me IRL.
Internet fight, watch out.
But yeah, like, yeah, like, we always, whenever, he brings stuff up like that, like, I always, I just torment him and stuff like that. Because he once showed me a picture of a Warhammer 40k Dreadnought ripping Pinkie Pie in half, and then it's like rainbows, blood, stuff like that.
Oh.
And like the picture that I shown him was a Dreadnought with, like, it was pretty, like, the style of the Dreadnought essentially had Rainbow Dash's cutie mark on it, and it's like, even in death, I am still a brony. I'm thinking, it's like, fuck you.
Didn't I show you that? Didn't I find that picture? I think
yeah, you showed me.
Yeah,
yeah, that was a while. Like, that was a while after that you showed me that picture.
For those people that don't know Warhammer 40k, poo on you.
Well,
sure
the thing is,
no, I know a little bit about it.
Okay.
I'm nerdy, but I shoot people, so I got to kind of balance out my sanity somehow.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. What were you gonna say, Tommy?
yeah, with being a brony, I definitely don't rub it in people's faces in public, because that is the quickest way to get someone to hate. That's the quickest way to get someone to hate what you love, by just plastering in their face without giving them any chance to make their own opinion on it. But I do fuck with my friends constantly with being a brony. Like, they said, we were at cricket training, and they said, righto guys, we gotta wrap it up. And I said, do we have to winter wrap it up? And that earned me 5 laps, but, you know, it was worth it.
Oh.
And
So worth it.
just making pony references all day is hilarious.
The best is when you do something stealth, because whenever someone says, "Hey, can you take a picture of me with my cell phone?" I start talking about making the magics, and eventually I got some non-brony friends to start saying making the magics too, whenever they're taking a photos, because it's something that I did, and they had no idea that they were referencing ponies.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm in college, so basically, you know, everybody in college is either very, like, you know, Earth hippie style, and like everybody's really accepting with, you know, like if you're gay and whatever. So that kind of like the My Little Pony thing. Like at first, all of my friends were like, "What?" But then after a while, they just kind of like accepted it. They really didn't care, and they know about the fandom and stuff. But one of my friends, he didn't like the My Little Pony. It's not that he hated it. He just, you know, he's like, he find it really dumb, and he didn't like it. So it was kind of little by little, and by that time I was really hooked on the fandom. So I show him a couple of like the fan art, the really good ones, and he was like, "Wow, the fans do that?" And I'm like, "Yeah," like just like thousands of pictures, and you know, he actually got into it, and awesome thing, his girlfriend started watching it a lot. And by the way, she's also one of my friends, and she's the one that got him really hooked on the show since she started watching it on Netflix.
Netflix, yeah.
Yeah, I've actually gotten my sister into My Little Pony. It pretty much didn't start like by showing them actually the episodes. I showed my brother and sister at the same point. I never said it was Brony. I'm just like, oh, I watch this because it's funny, not just because it's ponies. I'm just kind of hiding at this point, but I can't remember. Oh, it was Rainbow Dash Presents. That's what I was showing them. I just had to start somewhere, and I'm like, hell with it. I didn't start watching the episode right away. I started actually watching other stuff, and it had pony-related stuff in it, so I'm like, okay, I'll watch this. And I gave it a shot, and that's how I became a Brony, and that's how my sister became it. And my brother doesn't. He's whatever. But my sister loves it.
I didn't know anything about the fandom until like I'd been watching the show for months before I even really knew, about the whole Brony thing. I mean, I heard that had a cult following on the internet, but that was about it. I was just like, I just was watching it, and then a couple months later, I kind of got sucked into the fandom, and I'm like, those are months of my life that could have been spent talking on the internet about My Little Pony.
Oh, actually, I have a funny story. Yesterday, there's this app on like Android and iPhone called Snapchat where you send pictures to your friends, and basically, one of my friends, it is a girl, sends me this this random photo of like a bust of like two turtles having sex in like this Asian shop. It's this really weird ceramic bust that's like obsessively detailed over the turtles
having sex.
It was
what? You just blew my mind with that.
Well, I know it's for me it's not really a big deal because there's actually an episode of like on Attack of the Show that actually showed that video.
It's not the video. It's just some random like really well crafted art piece. But anyway, she made this like funny face and she captions it, "I like Toidles," Toidles, referencing that kid. Toidles. And then I sent her back just holding my Applejack figure. I say, "I like ponies," and I like spell it all funny and everything. And then about half an hour later, she sends me this photo of her sister's room, and it is covered in MLP stuff. She's got posters everywhere. She's got posters. She's got toys. She even had a plushie. I don't know. Like, good on that family for buying her a plushie.
Yeah.
Because it was a well-made one. It wasn't like a crappy Walmart one.
eBay.
And she says, "You mean that My Little Pony?" And then I take a photo of like the 12 ponies or whatever I have on my desk. I'm like, "Yeah, that one." And then she's like, "Oh," and then she sends me a photo of her drawer that's got about 400 figures, and she's like, "It kind of rubs off." So now I know two people IRL that like ponies. Thank God.
I've met some people who were into the pony fandom before Friendship is Magic existed, and they have like hundreds and hundreds of like G3 and G1 pony figures that they collect, and it's it can be massive. I should be going, so I just want to thank you for taking the time to take an interest in Seeds of Kindness and Bronies for Good, and to encourage everyone to go on to broniesforgood.org. The details about Seeds of Kindness are all there. You can donate, have a chance at getting the prizes and get a really amazing album. And thank you all for your time. Is there anything else you want to say before I head off?
Well, yeah, pretty much what you said. Like, if anyone doesn't donate this, just remember, I'm always there.
We'll find you.
I'll make sure you donate. I know your bank account number. I'll donate for you, don't worry.
I've been trained to kill, and I'll kill again.
I've been trained to kill bank accounts.
And and that's what Bronies for Good is all about: cold-blooded murder.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's why they have the Wolf House.
No, I don't want that taken out of context. Actually, forget I said that. But
we'll edit that out.
Yeah, it's live. You can't do that. But yeah, so One of the hosts of this show will apparently murder you if you don't donate, so I'd look out. But that has nothing to do with Bronies for Good. We're good. That's him acting independently of us, just so everybody knows.
Bronies for Good does not endorse the murders.
Yeah,
of those who do not wish to donate.
Yeah, we just kind of turned a blind eye to it because it's my understanding that it's a big problem in the fandom. Murders left and right.
Murder in this fandom's too damn high.
Yeah, like the rent. Anyway, thank you all. I should be going.
Yep. Thank you for coming
Pony on, and I can't wait to Season 3 next week. And hopefully you'll see Season 3 and say, oh my god, ponies are so awesome. This will make me want to donate more to Scenes of Kindness. Anyway, thanks a lot.
Yeah, take care, man.
All right.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
He's a nice man.
All right, so time to wrap up this show.
We want to wrap up, or do you want to continue on to random pointlessness, or should we continue in the after?
Let's make that random pointlessness in the after show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go in the after show. So
if you're watching this on YouTube, just remember, if you weren't a lazy prick, you could see the randomness in the after show.
Yeah. So too bad for them.
Sorry,
well,
lazy pricks.
I think that wraps it up this week's episode of the CloudsDale Cafe. And our guest is already gone, so I already want to thank him again, for Sprocket, for coming on the show. Thank you. It's been very nice being on here. Yes. If you're still hungry for more CloudsDale Cafe, check out our Tumblr and our YouTube page. All the links will be posted in the chat. Or at the bottom of the YouTube page where you watch it. You know exactly where it is. Be sure to stay tuned into the after show.
Will never be content.
Yes, thank you for interrupting me while I'm closing the show, because I want to close the show.
So unprofessional!
I know! But for those that are
sponsored.
watching us right now, too bad.
man, the show is so great. Yeah.
The show's over, pretty much. I've been your host, Ragin. We have Nick, Cinnamon Top, and Tommy, and Technic Shadow. We are the CloudsDale Cafe, and stay frosty out there. Good night.
What?
Get out. Go.
Good
Stop
night.
it. I'm done.
Good night,
Quit.
guys.
Shut up.
Let me go.
Close the door. Close
Damn
the door.
it.
Yeah.
Pull your
Good night,
pants up.
guys. Good night.